You're a parent, if you hear your baby crying, you want to automatically go and save them and help them. But with sleep training, they're not crying because they want you. They're crying because they do not know how to fall asleep on their own. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I really wanted to do sleep training. So there's many methods to sleep training. The method that we use, it's the Ferber method. I don't want this video to be super long, so that's why I'm doing it in a 3-part series, either 2 or 3-part series. So this first video is going to be our experience sleep training, what we did, how we did it, and then the myths that we're going to debunk. And the second video, I'm going to mention the top 10 mistakes and my top tips for sleep training. Again, remember guys, this is all from my experience as a mom, as well as all of this information coming from a pediatric nurse that's experienced in this information. I will link her information as well as other resources that you can use to sleep train. If you are new here, welcome and thank you so much for watching. I make videos about lifestyle and motherhood and everything that goes along with that, mamahood, all that. I talk about it, or you'll see about it. Please like, subscribe it, and click on the bell notification, because next week I'm gonna do the part 2, so you don't want to miss any of the information. You see a lot of yubeteras, a lot of yubeteras that have their cup of coffee and they look all cute. And look at my cup, it's so cute. It says, I can do, what does it say? For I can do anything through Christ who strengthens me. The first thing that I wanted to mention is that whether you sleep train your child or you co-sleep, it's really up to you, whatever works for you and your family. For us, for my experience, I knew I didn't want to co-sleep forever because children sleep really crazy. They roll around like crazy, and I'm a very light sleeper, and I'm the type of person, like any other person, that if I don't get enough sleep or I'm constantly waking up, my mood changes the next day. I'm not my 100%, and I'm not the happy Leslie or the best version of me that I could be. So to me, it's really, really important to get that sleep. So I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to do that having a child in my bed. I can barely sleep with my fiance. So yeah, that's definitely the reason why we did it. And also, my son as a newborn, we sleep trained him at 4 months, 16 weeks. And the reason why we did this is because my son would only nap in our arms, like legit in our arms. If we moved, like literally there'd be times where I have to go pee and I'm like, dude, do I wake him up or do I pee my pants? What do I do? So anyways, it got really to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore, because my kids' naps were like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and I'd just be sitting there on the couch, which, yeah, people say, oh, enjoy it, it's gonna go away soon, they grow up too fast. It's true, they do grow up too fast. But at the same time, I had to be realistic. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I couldn't sit on the couch for hours and be able to manage everything that I had to do. And honestly, I didn't want to do that. So sleep training was definitely a priority for us. And I waited until 16 weeks because through my research, 16 weeks or 4 months is when they're developmentally ready to sleep on their own. And then also at nighttime, even though I knew he wasn't hungry, he would wake up at night about 3 times a night and eat, and even if he wasn't hungry. So that's definitely something that I wanted to stop, just because I knew it wasn't necessary for him to be feeding anymore at night so much. We slept trained him at 16 weeks again. Basically what he would do at that point is he would go to sleep on the breast. So I would put him fully asleep after breastfeeding. I would put him down in his crib at 4 months and he would go to sleep. But here's what would happen. He would wake up, and if you guys don't know about this, I'm gonna quickly mention it because I can talk about this for days, is sleep cycles. Look that up. He would fall asleep, put him down, he would stay asleep, and then he would wake up after a certain amount of time because he didn't know how to put himself back to sleep. So look it up, sleep cycles. Basically what we did is followed our sleep consultant's advice of starting a bedtime routine. Bedtime routines are huge. Why? Because it tells your baby what's coming next and they expect it, and when they expect what's next, they're more comfortable. So what we did is that the bedtime consisted of bath time, and then after bath time it would be PJs, hang out for a little bit, and then give him a bottle or breast. At that point I was still breastfeeding, so yeah, I would breastfeed him and then put him down drowsy. That's a huge deal. When we put him down drowsy, what we would do is we would shut the curtains, turn on the white noise machine, and give him a lovey. The first night I was very anxious. I put him down and then I walked out right after that because I couldn't deal with the cries. I walked my dog around the block a few times. So definitely, if you can't handle it, make sure you have your partner there, the stronger one, and just be a team in that. It was really great having him by my side and just like supporting each other. So the first night I went and I walked around as my fiance put him down. So put him down. He cried a total of 40 minutes. And basically what my fiance would do is the first night is go in there, put his hand on his chest. You're okay, Lilo, we love you. Daddy's right here. And he would walk out. And we would intervene like that as many times as we needed. And it was all depending on his cry. If his cry was like bloody murder, we would go in. If it was more like whiny, we wouldn't go in. So the cries definitely do matter, because a lot of parents are like, oh my God, he's crying, they go in really quick. No, you shouldn't do that. You need to listen to the type of cry it is. Bedtime routine and the sleeping environment, definitely huge when sleep training. Also being consistent. So again, we would do the bedtime routine, put him down drowsy but awake, intervene when we needed to, hand on their chest, I love you, you're okay. Over time, over the days, it got better and better. The first night he slept, the first night he cried from 40 to 45 minutes total. And that was it, which to us was like, wow, that's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. For some babies, it's longer, so just hang in there, it's totally okay. Second night, he cried about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. Intervened maybe once or twice. I did feel though that the more we intervened, the harder he would cry. So sometimes it would just be like, just let him cry it out. And like when you're sleep training, you get to know your baby's cries. The whiny cry, like, oh, like that kind of, and then like the bloody murder, which you know you had to intervene. But a lot of times you just have to give him some time to cry it out a little bit. The longest we let him cry, I wanna say, was about 15 minutes. It might sound like a long time, but the crying wasn't bloody murder. It was like crying bloody murder for a few minutes, and then it was like kind of whiny, and then just kind of like quiet, and then going back to kind of whining. So you just have to hear them out and give them time. So definitely knowing their cues and kind of what kind of cry they're doing. Yeah, and then the third night, he cried for 15 minutes. I think we didn't intervene at all, and he fell asleep, which we're like, holy shit. That third night, you guys, or was it the first night? I don't even know. We had some beers, we said cheers. We were so happy that he fell asleep on his own. I was breastfeeding at that point, and I wasn't fully ready to not feed him at night because I wasn't comfortable with that. So I would breastfeed him once at night. When he would wake up like around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, I would breastfeed him and then put him down drowsy but awake. If he woke up any more than that during the night, I would not feed him. I would just let him cry it out a little bit, because at that point he wasn't needing to eat. He just wanted it because he still was not used to falling asleep on his own. For nap times, you follow the exact same routine you do for bedtime, except not the bath time. So basically what we would do is create the same sleeping environment, shutting the curtains, turning the white noise machine, give him his lovey, putting the sleep sack on, and giving him a bottle or feeding whatever it was, and then putting him down. And those were a little bit trickier just because I don't know why it is. I forget why exactly it's harder to sleep train them for naps than it is nighttime. But it wasn't bad, honestly. It was just the crying took us a little bit longer to put him down. But we stuck with it, guys, and it's honestly the best thing ever. Now my son is 18 months old, and he's crazy. So I'll tell you, like with sleep training, it creates good habits for sleeping for babies, but it's not like they're ever gonna be like robots and they're gonna sleep like perfectly. Like my son is 18 months old now, and what he does now as of like a few days ago is when he sees that it's nighttime, like I took out his sleep sack and I'm taking out his bottle, is he'll like make this face and he'll start running super fast, like back and forth to me, because he wants the bottle, but he knows what I'm doing. So he runs back and then he runs forward to me and I'm like, you want your Hina? Which Hina is bottle and tongue, and I'm like, Hina, and he will he'll be like, look at me and like kind of put his mouth on it, and then he'll run away because he knows that it's nighttime. But he does it like maybe like 5 or 6 times just playfully, and I just give him his time. But eventually he comes back to the bottle, grabs it, and then he lets me put his sleep sock on, and I put him down. No tears, nothing. The only time he does fight me on it, I will say, is if there's like a lot of his cousins are around or just people around. He just wants to be around, and that's totally fine. We're super flexible when it comes to sleeping. Now, for the most part, he goes to sleep around between 6:30 to 7:30 at night. Yeah, so he's out by that time, 6:30 to 7:30, wakes up the next day anywhere between like 6:30 to 7 o'clock in the morning. So he gets a really good amount of sleep. He takes 1 nap a day, so it's 1:52 right now. Fell asleep like at 1:30, so he'll snap around 45 minutes to an hour, and that's about it. He only has 1 nap now. And yeah, he's a great sleeper. If you guys are considering sleep training, guys, definitely reach out to me, send me messages, look into if you have any questions, and maybe questions that I didn't answer already. I definitely recommend, especially for first-time moms, and not even first-time mom, guys, sleep training. If you have kids already, maybe you're pregnant right now and you're having a new baby, your baby's younger than your older ones, way younger, or first-time moms, or maybe you haven't slept trained your other kids and you want to sleep train this one, or maybe you're a working mom and you're gonna go back to work, or you're a stay-at-home mom but you have things to do at home. Like, definitely sleep training works for any child. This is not discriminate against any child. It's more, again, remember, the parent is not at fault, but the parent is the one that the reason that sleep training won't work. You have to stay with it, you have to be committed and just hang in there for just a few days while they get the hang of it, because remember, sleeping is a skill. It is not something that you learn on your own. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, because I will be back next week with more information. Bye guys, have a good day.